Hi, this is Sophie from The Honest Health, helping busy moms nurture happier and healthier kids through natural holistic living. And today I'm going to examine some popular packaged products, so identify some of the ingredients that are present, and then I will attempt to explain what they are used for and what their effects on our health would be. So here is a packet of popular instant noodles, and they have split up the ingredients into noodle cake and soup mix, and for the purpose of today's discussion I will focus on additives in the flavor enhancers. So just reading the list here, it says salt, monosodium glutamate, MSG, sugar, cornstarch, flavorings, chicken fat and meat, soy sauce, palm oil, leek, onion, garlic, spices, sodium inositol, and sodium guanylate, and citric acid. It's a mouthful. So I know many people already try to avoid MSG because you know that there are typical reactions that may include things like migraine or headaches, insomnia, itchy rashes, asthma attacks, behavior disorders, depression, heart irregularities, anxiety, arthritis, sinus problems, and many digestive problems, including diarrhea. Just a whole string of them. But MSG does not usually occur alone, and it's often present together with ribonucleotides and disodium inositol and disodium guanylate, which are all flavor enhancers, which add a salty, savory taste to foods. And they can be listed either by name or additive numbers, like for example the E numbers that you sometimes see in the ingredients list, like E621, E627, E635, E631. And legally, these chemicals can also be hidden under terms like spices, yeast, extract, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, and flavoring. So sodium inositol is a flavor enhancer. It basically just intensifies it, and it's almost always used in conjunction with MSG and sometimes with disodium guanylate. But unlike disodium guanylate, disodium inositol is completely ineffective without MSG. And disodium guanylate itself is produced by fermentation and usually of tapioca starch or other vegetable sources, which means to say that it can be classified under natural flavors on a food label. So it isn't always easy to determine if a food contains this additive. So now back to MSG. Now MSG gives food a salty flavor without adding as much sodium as would otherwise be necessary, and it can be extracted from protein-rich foods, including seaweed. But it's usually made through fermentation. And it can be made from molasses, starch, or sugars. But listen to this. MSG that isn't naturally occurring must be listed as monosodium glutamate on food labels. But in the case when it occurs naturally in ingredients like soy protein isolate or hydrolyzed yeast, then you don't actually have to list it as MSG, but rather natural flavoring. So the next time you see the term natural flavoring, you might just want to think twice. Okay, so many of you might say, well, I don't eat instant noodles anyway, or I only eat the noodles and I add my own seasoning. So let's take a look at some chicken stock cubes. And this is an MSG-free chicken stock package. It says no artificial coloring added and made from real chicken, no preservatives added. And looking at the list, it actually contains hydrolyzed vegetable protein, permitted food coloring, sodium isocyanate, and sodium guanylate. Bingo! So there's really no escaping from the elusive MSG. Now, how about taking a safer path and using organic chicken broth now? So I have an organic chicken broth package over here, and you might think, okay, since I'm paying a higher price, we should get better quality ingredients than MSG, and no funny chemical names, right? So yes, indeed, there's chicken broth, chicken flavor, cane sugar, yeast extract, onion powder, and rosemary extract. But while these don't sound terrible, they can actually be questionable because you've got yeast extract in there. What is in yeast extract? So it just goes to show that there is really no easy way out from additives in processed foods. And the best way is really to make your own because you know exactly what you put in there. Well, the good news is it really isn't difficult to make your very own stock paste at home, and you can do it in under 30 minutes. And you can do it using just a handful of good quality, everyday, natural ingredients.